Hey guys, thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Phil and this channel is called Opium Coils. And today we're going to be doing another tutorial. Yes, I know it's been a while. I've been busy. Okay, you need to forgive me. Please forgive me. We're going to be doing a Staggered Fused. Original idea comes from Squiddude himself. And Squiddude, thank you so much for coming out with this killer coil. It's my very favorite coil. How good is that? I did my twist on it. How I make it so you don't have to do space Clapton, which is always a pain in the backside. What else do I want to say? Not much really. So let's go down. I'll show you all the tools we need and I'll show you how I do it. And welcome back down. So as for today's build, I chose twisted messes as per usual really. For my dual core I chose 26 gauge, and for the staggered fuse I chose 34 gauge. The reason I chose 34 gauge, which is fairly thick-ish wire, is because it's a lot easier to start building that coil with a slightly thicker outer portion, and you see why. I normally use 36, sometimes 38. But 38, I wouldn't recommend to start building this coil using my method with 38, because it's going to be very frustrating, and you're going to be swearing and I don't know. Now we need some wire cutters, ceramic tweezers as per usual. We need some form of coil jig. I use my 3mm screwdriver, 2 Lego pieces. Oh yeah, don't drop it. I use pliers as well, and we're going to use a swivel. This is a ball bearing swivel. Now on my last video I showed you my fast drill, which was DeWalt. It's a beast. But for this particular build, I chose my Bosch, which is slightly slower than my DeWalt, but I'll explain why I use this one rather than the fast one in a few moments when we start building. So yeah, let's go up, get everything ready, and start building. Come on! So first things first, we're going to take our 26 gauge Nichrome 80 and stretch 2 even pieces out of it. I normally don't do any longer pieces than 4, equivalent of 3 coils on this particular build. And the way I do it, because if you do it longer, you'll mostly see it as I do it. The wire starts to twist on itself, and it's not good for you. It just ruins the last bit of wire and just wasting wire, which is not what we want to do. Now, okay, so we've got those 2 pieces. They might not be perfectly the same, but we're gonna make them perfectly the same. So I normally take my wire, push my finger to one side, whichever side, so it's nice and even. Slide my fingers down, just like that. Got a few kinks on this one. I'm not pretty sure if I want to use this bit. You know what, I need to do it again because I Because what you don't need is actually, obviously you're not going to be able to see it, but maybe, can you see it? Just right in there and right in there, like little kings in the wire. So that's, yeah, scrap that. Because basically you want your Claptons loosened to a degree that they're going to move freely on your core. So stretch this again, put it side by side, and that my friends should be just fine. So I would highly advise, especially with this build, with any build really, because you can't really see the wire with a bare eye that well, but once you slide your fingers down, then of course you're going to feel any kinks, any imperfections. So yeah, that's pretty okay actually. Look, this is going to be, yeah, just one is just slightly longer than the other. So we take this, cut it, now put it the other way, slide your fingers down again, just like that. I'm sliding the other hand, that's why you don't see my other hand. And that's it. That's the other end. Okay. Now I'm going to show you like this. So these are two perfectly the same pieces of 26 gauge. What I do is just do L shape at one end, and just to make sure, I take my, you know what, I forgot to add it, I actually use some needle noses as well. So I go on the other side, just like so, maybe there, maybe, and just bend it more of a U shape, and that bit is going to go into my swivel. Now I put that U bend in my swivel end, take the pliers just like this, spin it a few times. It doesn't need to be too tight because we're not going to put an immense amount of pressure on it, so it's cool. Few spins, 3, 4, however much wire you've got to spin. Okay, now we're going to mount the other end into a chuck of our drill. So now is the time to mount the other end into a chuck of a drill. So make sure everything is nice and centered. You don't want any surprises down the line. What I normally do, I stretch the wire, put it on the second gear, and check if everything is okay. Okay, I'm gonna zoom back out a little bit, and oh, you know what? No, I'm not gonna zoom out. I'm gonna show you, most of you've seen it a million times, but what the hell. I'm gonna show you how I secure, oh, you can't see anything, how I secure my Clapton portion. There they are. I always try to take that off, just in case it just likes to go onto my actual core and ruin it, the actual Clapton. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out now, and you can see what I'm doing next. So yes, we got our core wire mounted, and we got our Clapton wire secured as well. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our initial Clapton portion. Let me have a vape, because I just got this Pulse 80 from Vandy Vape, designed by Tony and Dead Rabbit. I think that's a killer combination. 80 watts. I run now 73.13. Let's see. A couple of aliens in there. Very nice. Okay, now the important thing with this part is find something you can focus your eye on that is going to be in the middle of your core wire, little bit closer towards the chakra, so not particularly middle, just a little bit less than the middle. I'm going to tell you why in a second. Let me just do this Clapton. And you don't need to rush this step because you're gorgeous. I'm going to shut up now. And I'm going to tell you why you don't have to rush it in a minute. Right in the middle of the wire, of the core. Yeah, cool. I'm going to stop it there. Let me just move the camera slightly. So what you want to do now is snip that wire off, secure it nicely. Where's my tape? There it is. Boom. That's done. Easy enough. Now put your drill in reverse. Hold on to this one, to this a little bit, to this little bit. No, there's little. Let me just kind of, because I'm kind of out of focus. Oh yeah, my hands are looking rather good today. And you want to spin it for 3, 2, 2.5 seconds, maybe 4. Let's do it. A little bit more. Now let me zoom out a little bit. So now we've got the Clapton portion somewhere in the middle of a core wire. What I normally do, is grab at the end and gently stretch it. Give it a pull. Just like this. I will zoom into it. I will do another wire, another portion, and then I will fuse it all together, and I'll show you how easy it is to do it. So I will now put the macro lens to show you guys how much I stretched it, although I never actually used any magnifying glass to check out how much I stretch it. But this is how it works for me. I just do it by feel. And my name is Phil. How funny is that? Is that funny? I'm not pretty sure. Whatever. Who cares? Right, I will zoom in. I will put a macro lens so you guys can see it properly. And then I'm going to start fusing with the other wire that I'm going to do off camera. Not to bore you, because you don't like to be bored, No one does. I'll see you guys in a second. So yeah, that's how much I stretch my wire. Booyaka. So now we've got our 2 cores just right in there. Almost perfect. Where's that bloody thing? There it is. Clapton almost perfectly, which is pretty damn cool. Now what we do is open the art shack, shove it all in, just like that. Nice and centered. Yeah, that's actually pretty nice and centered. What you want to do now is just take, let me just change the camera angle again. Bear with me. So what you want to do now is just take those 2 core wires just like that. Handle them gently. Try to keep tight. Keep them both tight and just like that. Take your long noses and just do a U-bend as we did before. So now I'm just going to put my swivel through, get my finger like this, put the wire underneath it like that, and then do 1 or 2 spins just like that. That'll be enough so that it looks just like that. Can you see it? Yeah, I think you can. That's cool. Mount your swivel back. Oh, it kinked on me just there. Now, the infamous Lego. Okay, what we're gonna do, I think I'm gonna use my old bricks. So I put them on the core wire to keep it fairly parallel, because as I mentioned before, I normally do equivalent of about 2 to 3 coils at the time. The reason being is the wire we're going to be fusing everything with causes the core wire to twist on itself. So at the very end over there, it just gets twisted a lot, and what that does is stops the actual Clapton portion of moving. So you're not going to go anywhere with that. So I just pinch it slightly, and there we go. There we have it. Nice and straight. Amazing. Right, I will change my camera angle again, have a quick vape, have water with lemon, because it's healthy, because that's how I roll, baby. And we're going to start fusing and see how easy or difficult it might be. I'll see you in a bit. Woo! Okay then, boys and girls, so now we've got everything mounted. Quick vape. Bring the vape gods around so your build is successful, you know? Always do vape before your next step of building. The final step is very important. I always bring all the gods of vaping. So yeah, here we go again. $73 watts. Okay, now I'm going to secure my 34. So I'm still using 34. So it's 2 space Claptons on the core already, which is 34, and this wire is 34 as well. So it's going to be 3 times 34. Unlike Alien, everything on Staggered Fused Clapton goes the same way. So if you Claptoned it clockwise, you do it clockwise. You fuse it clockwise. If you Claptoned it anti-clockwise, you have to fuse it anti-clockwise. So here we go, nice and sturdy to start with. Nice and sturdy. Put a little bit of pressure onto your spool and just go. Just like that. You don't want to go too fast because the actual fuse can back on itself and it's going to cause you unnecessary trouble. Once you get in the groove, they can just spin a bit faster. As I said, don't go like full speed. Okay, now I'm gonna get my macro lens again and I'll show you guys how it all looks up close. So here it is, guys. Staggered Fused Clapton made easy. There it is. Let me just focus a little bit. That is not easy using the macro lens. As you can see, nice and even. I'm just going to try to move it. It looks like little caterpillar. So just to straighten the wire, we put already pre-cut piece into your chuck. Make sure it's in reverse. So I put it on the first gear, and that's another thing I actually forgot to mention at the beginning, that what we're going to need. These are my nylon pliers. So let me just zoom in, not zoom in, the focus. Oh, not this way, not this way. I'm still learning, guys, I know. I had a bit of a break, which I'm extremely sorry about. And just give it a few spins. Just like that. Yeah, that'd be okay. Now I'm going to do the other coil, and I'll see you guys on top. So we're going to coil it up. So I'm going to coil it up on my, oh, where is it? Screwdriver. That's 3mm. What I normally do, just to make sure that my outer portion, whether it's Clapton, whether it's Alien, whether it's whatever build, don't slide down, I just secure it at the end by twisting the wire a little bit. You can see it? Can you? Yeah, there you go. So that way it doesn't move. Okay, so we now take a 3mm screwdriver. Let me just get a little bit more light. Ah, there you go, there you go. You see my new tattoos? Done by my good friend, hand poked. If someone tells you that hand poke doesn't hurt, don't listen to them, they're liars. Right, let me just sort of, yeah, that should be all right. So now I hold it with my thumb and coil it away from me, so kind of forward moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Although we got wire for about 6 wraps, but doesn't really matter. We can do 5. The first wrap, if you have a coil that the first wrap is not really that tight compared to the others, what you do is just take your pliers, hold on to the other leg with your other finger and just pull it slightly, I mean quite a bit actually, and then do 1 wrap again. That's only in case you've got enough wire to do so. Perfect. Can you see it? There is. Do the second coil. I might do it off the camera. So yes, we go back on top. I've got them coils, them exact coils in one of my RDAs. So I'm gonna show you the vapor production, and yeah, we're gonna say goodbyes and all that. All right then, boys and girls, and everyone else. I'll see you guys in a moment. And we are back, ladies and gents. So today I'm vaping on Cannoli Banoli. Ooh. And obviously my drop RDA and my favorite mod, which is a Smodus Minikin V2. Is good for you. Everything is good for you, you know. Vaping is good for you. Smoking is bad. No, don't smoke, vape. So this particular build, 5 wraps, around 3 mil bit, clocked on this one at 0.14, which is fair enough. So let's have a toot. Tricks. These are my tricks. Right, yes. So what can I say? The ramp up on this one is not really speedy. Is that a word? Yeah, it's not as fast as on, let's say, Tri-Core Alien 27 like we did last week. Last week? No, last time. I'm sorry. Yes, yeah, like we did last time. So keep that in mind. I showed you a little trick with warming up your coils before you take a first bath. Just, you know, the ramp up is a bit quicker. Straight away. Once the coils warm up, then you're laughing. So yeah, I really hope this video was helpful for you. I'll try to explain my technique as best as I could. By all means, if you have any more questions, additional questions, please leave them in the comment. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. Please click that button next to it, which is like a little bell, to get notified when I upload another video. Is going to take quite a long time because my internet is shocking. It is shocking, actually. It takes about 14 hours for me to upload a silly video, half an hour video. How bad is that? Never mind. So yeah, share, like, subscribe, please, if you like to see more videos. I've got obviously more videos planned to do, and yes, that's it for me. From me. Yes, from me. I'm kind of losing it, so I think I better go now. Once again, my name is Phil. This channel is called Opium Coils, and thank you so much for watching, and see you guys very, very shortly.